Good international time everyone, I am ASRock and today I have for you a type of video that I rarely do on this channel. This video is dedicated to my early supporters, my community, the Titanfall community, as well as the content creators that I met and respect. But most importantly, this video is dedicated to Mr. Ender, who single-handedly saved this channel. During my early days of playing video games around 2013, when I got my first FPS shooter as a gift, I discovered the beauty of video games. For me, playing FPS games was intriguing and fascinating, providing a damn 12-year-old daily doses of dopamine from my low-spec PC. Playing games such as Team Fortress 2, Minecraft and Battlefield always left me to wonder how some cards could generate realistic graphics and codes. I still remember the early days when I became interested in video games, and I still remember the Skype groups. Damn, Skype. Anyways, the point here is that I've been introduced to FPS shooters like most of the Call of Duty kids banging our moms since the dawn of man. What can you do about them? However, most of you probably don't know that I've suffered from social anxiety back in the days, which could explain why I wasn't much of a talker. I would be the silent guy in voice channels that was above average, minding my business, coping with my anxiety by focusing on games. As time passed on, new games would release. I started playing Payday 2, CSGO and other popular FPS games until something special happened.
It was only a matter of time.
No. I'm sorry, but Titanfall 1 didn't make the cut for me at all in 2014. I was addicted to Battlefield 4, and oh man, I would have gone with a herb back in the days. However, that didn't mean I wasn't interested in it. As time passed on, I grew older and got smarter. To be honest, my inevitable VAC ban finally came by 2,383 days ago since the creation of this video, when I realized that there is more than blindly playing video games. Video games became puzzles to me, and in 2015, a game completely changed my view on video games. That game was Warframe. Warframe is a grinder based in the far future made by Digital Extremes. No, the masterminds of Unreal Tournament, back in the days when epic games were epic. Yeah, those guys that almost went bankrupt, but made a game that was average. However, it was the first game that made me learn the basics of how a game works and enjoy it, before I took a 1-year break from it because it was the same free-to-play bullshit. Damn, I was wrong. However, I'm glad that I've started playing again because of one update, one single update, the one that made me addicted to good video games. This one update called The Second Dream, which is the only reason why I recommend everyone to play Warframe, taught me an important lesson, that it takes time and effort to appreciate great games. After I put a serious amount of work into Warframe and hearing for the first time what E3 was, I decided to check it out in 2016. That was the moment I heard of Titanfall 2. I was extremely interested since it had so many similarities to the After Second Dream Warframe that I was amazed by the movement, the gameplay and the Titans. But the €60 price tag and offer release date denied my entrance onto the frontier. As time went on, I read the articles about the performance of the sales, and in the end I started playing Siege with friends. That was the point I left Titanfall 2 to its fate. Siege, however, became a masterpiece of a tactical shooter itself, until it became a esport bullshit that caused me to leave it to dust. That was the moment I've been reminded that Titanfall 3 was in production. Hell, I even said to myself that I won't miss this release, until a Battle Royale was released.
Are we clear?
This is my favorite part. Exciting!
Jackpot! Don't mind if I do.
Back off.
But guys, I'm a legend in this thing.
Legends don't choke under pressure.
Ah yes, Apex Legends, the Titanfall 3 killer. At that point I thought it would save the Titanfall franchise, but I knew that Titanfall 3 was delayed. So at that point I came with the first wave of Apex players to Titanfall 2. I was blown by the campaign but the multiplayer took me by storm. Damn, I still remember my first playthrough. Also, I wasn't completely awful, as I tend to be a copycat, and I got to admit that Iniquity's algorithm boosted videos shed a light on the basics that I've got used to in the campaign, leading to my first match, the first multiplayer match, that showed me that I was a Titanfall player from the get-go. 12 kills, 1 Titan kill on Colony. A post-blade pilot of a tone joined the Frontier War and kept at it. I've started copying other content creators' playstyles, but with time, I developed my own style. However, I was your face main that you know at the beginning. You might not even know this, but I didn't like the idea of me being a robot, so I didn't like the simulacra. So at the beginning of my pilot career, I was a post-blade main. Then I started taking a liking to grapple because of Iniquity, but then everything was changed by lore and a mechanic. The moment I discovered that the simulacra were humans back up in robots, basically immortals, and the extreme lore potential ability called phase shift. That was the moment when Eyeless, that you know today, was metaphorically born, and kept on playing phase shift, learned about the feeling of defying death and playing extremely aggressive, while at the same time investing time in the universe of the game. And after a while, I've decided to make content. From now on, most of you know the rest of the story. Some call me the phase gamer, others think that I'm weird that I put phase over the movement abilities, but in the end everyone has their own reason why they play Titanfall. Some enjoy the movement, the Kraber, the Titan gameplay, so on and so forth. Well, you know, the simulacra lore and the brutality of phase shift. Oh, and one more thing before I go. The name ASRock isn't random. It's based on my two mains, Rook being the first main pilot, while Eyeless is the simulacra, the pilot after death. There's an upcoming visualized story that takes a huge amount of work. I mean shitloads of work that is heavily inspired by my Titanfall story. So if you want to support this channel in hopes of bringing this story to light, please do consider subscribing. And with that out of the way, have a good one enforced, and thank you for supporting my content.